name is Michelle, and I am excited about discipleship because I was discipled, and then I was given the privilege of discipling Mary. And I don't believe that I would be here talking to you today if God hadn't brought someone into my life who could disciple me. I met Mary in 2005 at a networking event. So I was looking for a part-time job, and I mentioned that. And after the event was over, Mary came up and said, "We need to talk."
So when Michelle and I met, I was driven. I was going to be successful. I was going to have this successful business, and Michelle and I just really hit it off. Initially, we just really enjoyed connecting and having conversation.
What happened was, as we would meet and talk, I would be telling her about the things that God had been doing in my life. And one day I realized I was talking about that a lot. And I said to Mary, I don't even know if you're interested in this.
I enjoyed hearing the stories.
It was a little bit like, that's really great for you, Michelle, but
totally.
It doesn't mean anything to me.
Totally. Right. Like I was just like, da, 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 I like the story, but
right.
Like it was going over my head, I guess.
Right.
I don't know.
I knew that she wasn't a Christian, and so I began praying for her that God would bring her to salvation. And we would meet regularly and talk about things that God was doing in my life, and Mary would talk about issues in her life, and she was really struggling with some things. And after about 5 years of this, one day we met, and Mary was talking about how she was going to be trying this new program on deep change.
For a while there, my life was really good because I thought I was controlling things. I thought I was in control. I thought I had control until things started to get out of control. And I was feeling like I wasn't a good wife. I was feeling like I was not a good leader for the company that I was running.
And I said, Mary, you will actually never experience deep change in your life until you let Jesus in. He's the one who brings deep change in our lives. And Mary kind of went, yeah. And I went home that day and I said, Lord, Mary's not listening to the things that I'm saying. And I don't know what to do. I'm busy and I've got a lot on my plate, and I'm not going to push anymore. Not that I was pushing, but I'm not going to push. So when she's ready, will you have her call me? And then I never heard from Mary. We didn't talk for about a year.
And then I did end up reaching out to Michelle again. I didn't know that's where we were headed.
Right.
I just appreciated the conversations and how Michelle would guide me. And so I remember we met again.
And this time, Mary was really hungry for the things that I had to say about God and what he could do in her life and what it meant to who Jesus really was and what all of that meant.
After many, many conversations with Michelle and just really starting to understand, I got to the point where I then realized, he was with me this whole time, he was protecting me when I didn't.
When you couldn't tell, you didn't know it.
I didn't know it. It didn't feel it. It didn't feel that way at the time. But reflecting back now, it's like, wow, he was protecting me in so many ways that I did not realize. And I have to say, if Michelle hadn't had like 10 years I took. And I am so grateful because I wouldn't be saved. Maybe it'd have been somebody else, maybe, but it wasn't. It was you.
Well, it was him.
Well, it was him. through you.
Right. I can't remember how long it took, but at one point, one day we were at Caribou Coffee and I said, Mary, are you ready to ask Jesus into your heart? And she said, yes, I am. So she did.
Yeah.
And then we really began meeting in earnest and really
That's
talking
when the
about
real work started, I
Yeah.
think, then, really.
you know, if you read God's word, Jesus went after the one and the one and the one. He was relational and he met people where they were at and then he worked with them, starting from where they were at. And he didn't browbeat people. He didn't, you know, he loved them. It's really a matter of love. You know, can you love the person that he's put next to you?